Live at 4, this is 13 News Now.
Welcome to 13 News Now at 4 o'clock. I'm Regina Mobley.
And I'm Janet Roach. This evening, a major headache near Virginia Beach Town Center thanks to a water main break.
The problem is on Virginia Beach Boulevard. The road between Thalia Road and Kentucky Avenue is blocked as utility crews work to fix the problem.
Drivers have had to use Bonnie Road to get around the problems. 13 News Now reporter Allie Weatherton joins us live from Virginia Beach. And Allie, how is the traffic out there?
Well, Regina and Janet, it's getting closer to rush hour, and let me tell you, a lot of people are backed up trying to find an alternate route. Now, I want to take a step away from the camera because you can see crews are still working here around the clock. They've been here since 4 o'clock this morning. And like you guys said, the eastbound lanes between Thalia Road and South Kentucky Avenue are closed. Now, water is back on, but it'll be several more hours until crews try to repair the road here. It's a headache for drivers.
This is kind of obviously a major setback for a lot of people.
On Virginia Beach Boulevard, a big hole sits in the eastbound lane. Public Works say they got a call around 1:30 this morning from a driver about water coming from under the road.
It's a 16-inch water main. It's about 3 foot deep. It's an old water main.
James Cherry with Public Works says the broken pipe is between 70 and 80 years old. He says usually cast iron pipes last a long time, about 100 years or so, and says it's normal for it to be at the end of its life. He believes the weather caused the pipe to burst.
In cold weather, they are brittle, and that's what we saw, that damage.
Crews will continue working around the clock to get the road reopened for drivers.
What we will do is we will cut out a section, probably about 10 feet of this 16-inch water main, and sleeve in a new pipe for it.
Now, if you do have to come this way tonight, you need to remember this section of the road will be shut down. Crews say it might be until 10 o'clock at night before they can get this road reopened. Again, the alternate route is Bonnie Road. Now, if you are heading this way and you have to take Bonnie Road, make sure you leave a couple extra minutes for your commute. Live in Virginia Beach, Allie Weatherton, 13 News Now.
Well, it's beginning to feel like normal for Hampton roads again.
I know it's in the 50s, but I felt like jumping for joy in those puddles of water around town today, Janet.
All right. Evan Stewart has a look at the temperatures through the night.
That's right. As you can see by those temperatures, we are seeing readings now that are well above freezing, some spots up into the 50s. And as we take a look around the region right now, we're sitting at 50 degrees in Wakefield, 48 in Melfitts, 54 in Elizabeth City, and 51 degrees in Currituck. As we time things out through the overnight, we're going to see those temperatures not falling as much. We've seen some of the clouds that have been rolling in during the day today. As we take a look at the bigger picture, there's a lot of moisture out towards the west. You might have seen the stories about the flooding in California and in Las Vegas. That storm system is working its way eastward and will bring us some rain late in the day tomorrow, into the day Friday and early Saturday. But with that comes some warmer temperatures well up into the 60s. As we take a look again up on the eastern shore, still some ice out there along parts of Wachapreague. But over the next 6 hours, temperatures will slowly start to drop down into the low 40s. And we're looking at partly cloudy skies through the night tonight. But a big warm up coming up just in time to end the week, and then another push of colder air early next week. Details on that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. Well, students in the 7 cities missed a fifth day of class because of the snow. The concern is ice that's still on neighborhood roads, making it dangerous for buses to get to children. 13 News Now reporter Ernie LeBeau looked at some of the bus stops in Chesapeake. And Ernie, what is it looking like out there?
Well, Janet, I know you and many other parents can't wait to send these kids back to school, but many of the main roads like Battlefield Boulevard out here are clear, no problems. But it's those back and side roads leading into the neighborhoods that are still a mess. Let me go ahead and show you outside. You can see right here, we've been driving in the Great Bridge area. Now, mainly driving the bus route for kids to get to Great Bridge Primary School. Now, as you can see, several of these neighborhood streets are still starting to melt, but they're still covered in snow, ice, and now slush. And it makes for a bumpy and dangerous ride. So I did have a chance to speak to some parents out here. They really want to get these kids off to school, but they say that because they know so many kids depend on the school bus system, it might be easier said than done.
Looking at the back roads and some of the deeper parts of Chesapeake, I'm not quite sure if they're going to be able to open or not.
Right, and back out here in the Great Bridge area, we're actually on Unser Drive. You can see the road right now. We're bumping up all around this road. It's really kind of dangerous and very slippery. But I want to tell you another major issue for parents out here is that these kids, if they go to school, they're having to walk in the street because they don't have sidewalks out here. So they're having to trek through all this slush and snow. So right now, many people are just waiting and wondering if this big thaw will happen so we can get those kids off to school. That's the latest here in Chesapeake. I'm Erin LeBeau, 13 News Now.
New information about a fatal crash in Virginia Beach. Police have arrested Tyler Hutton for a deadly crash on New Year's Day. He was arraigned today for a felony hit and run, reckless driving, driving on a suspended license, and possession of a firearm by a felon. Investigators say Hutton crashed into Thomas Hitt's car at South Independence Boulevard and Bonnie Road early January 1st. Hutton allegedly left the scene and Hitt died. Hutton is in jail without bond.
And this just in, the Norfolk Police Department says violent crime is at its lowest in almost 2 decades. They say reported violent crimes dropped 19% from the previous year. You see the number on your screen. It's fewer than 1,200. 2017 had the lowest number of reported violent crimes since 2000. Last year was also the largest one-year decrease of violent crimes in 17 years. Everyone is okay after a hotel went up in flames this morning in Newport News. This was the scene at the old Wynwood Plaza Hotel on Jefferson Avenue near Mercury Boulevard. The hotel has been empty for several years. Because of that, there were no working sprinklers, so firefighters had to call a second alarm to deal with the fire. No word on what sparked the flames.
We are tracking developments at the General Assembly. The new session convened today in Richmond. It comes after several close races made the balance of power uncertain. Ultimately, Republicans maintain control of the House of Delegates 51-49. They also control state Senate 21-19. But with the thin margin, lawmakers say they expect both parties to work together more to get things done.
And I found, based on what happened, last time we were close to parity, we're able to get a lot of things done in a bipartisan manner, and I think that's important to move forward in a bipartisan manner on ultimately what I hope all of us are up here for, certainly myself, is what's in the best interest of Virginia.
And I think with these new numbers that it's going to make a real difference in how we provide better quality legislation for the people that come with Virginia.
And in just a few days, Democrat Ralph Northam will take the oath as the next governor. 13 News Now political reporter Mike Gooding is in Richmond. He spent the day talking with lawmakers, learning their goals for the session. Look for a live report on 13 News Now at 5. And one delegate candidate also ended her attempt to join the General Assembly, at least for now. Newport News Democrat Shelley Simons has conceded the election in the 94th House of Delegates district race. Simons has battled Republican David Yancey for the seat since the November election. At first, Yancey came out ahead by 10 votes. Then a recount put Simons ahead by just 1 vote. But a judge's ruling tied the race. And last week, the State Board of Elections picked a name at random, giving Yancey the win. Today, Simons says she is not going to ask for another recount, saying she did not see any legal pathways forward and wants representation for the 94 district today. She also announced plans to run for the seat in 2019. The North Carolina General Assembly also convened for a special session today. They'll deal with the select list of bills and potentially confirm some of the governor's appointees. We'll let you know if any major developments come out of their either legislative sessions.
Now, a live look at Interstate 64 in Norfolk, where new hot lane tolling began today. The prices fluctuate depending on traffic volume. We're told this morning's peak price was $1.25. And just hours after those fees started, the Commonwealth Transportation Board voted to add more hot lanes on 64. When VDOT expands the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel At a meeting today, board members said the new tolling is off to a good start.
Today was toll day one. As the Secretary mentioned, the high toll was $1.25. The low toll is 50 cents. We saw a high easy pass use in the lanes, which is fantastic. That's been a challenge in Hampton Roads.
The resolution for the hot lanes at the HRBT calls for one tolled lane in each direction between interstates 664 and 564.